Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined today by my two pretty rad co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
And behind the computer making us sound subpar, per usual, it is Bruce, the chug boat. Venditti.
I wasn't going to chug the whole thing.
Why?
Tucker nuts.
It's warm and gross. That's why. What's up? What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going.
Did you have a nice weekend?
It was an okay weekend.
It was an okay weekend.
Yeah.
How's your
Well,
weekend?
actually, the Lions won,
I'm sorry?
so I got pretty fucking drunk on Saturday. So
Because the Lions won a preseason game. By
yeah,
one.
it doesn't
Happy
matter.
birthday, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
Happy
Oh,
birthday
thank
to
you very
you.
much. Thank you.
God bless you.
Happy
appreciate that.
God bless Sammy Randazzo.
To you.
Are you done over there? Do you know how distracting the grooming is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know how distracting the mid-show groom
I'm not
is?
distracting anyone. I don't know what you're talking about.
I
right
think
now.
it's pretty distracting. Anyways,
Was that Friday or Saturday? It was Saturday. Yeah. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
week
thought.
2 of the preseason has now come and gone, and we are like right there. Football is almost upon us officially.
I can't wait.
I mean,
I just want this other week to fly by right now.
there's 7 more days of August as of recording this, and the first game is on the 8th. So we're like 2 weeks away officially,
Yes.
like 15 days or something like that away from actual relevant real football, which means fantasy is getting full steam ahead, full swing,
It's getting there.
all of it.
It's
We're getting
exciting
down
so far.
We're getting down.
All
to
we're
the
doing right
nitty-gritty.
now is waiting for roster cuts. And once all that goes, then we can start drafting.
Well, injuries. God. Injuries. Some news and notes out for us today. Well, over the weekend and today. Baker Mayfield's officially been named the Week 1 starter in Carolina, leaving
Well, you
Sam
called
Darnold
that.
on the outside looking in.
Called that.
Yeah. I think that was just, you don't make that trade, even though they didn't give much up for him, you don't make that trade unless you're going to start the guy. That's just it in a nutshell. Baker's gone through a lot. He didn't like the way he left there. I think it would have been detrimental to the team as a whole to not start Baker Mayfield. Even if Sam Darnold was right there talent-wise, which I don't think he is.
I think talent-wise they're there. I don't think that Darnold has the personality that Baker has. Baker commands respect.
That is true.
And Darnold's, that's not him. That's not his game.
I agree with that.
And I think that's the reason why he actually won the starting job, is because of his personality. He's a fired-up
Losing
guy.
Christian McCaffrey didn't help. So I feel like having Baker Mayfield, if Christian McCaffrey goes down again, Baker is actually serviceable to get the ball out.
I will say I agree with him to that point. If the offense as a whole is more serviceable with Baker out there than with
Correct.
Sam Darnold, I think.
Now, you got to look and see if they're going to deal Darnold. That could happen within the next week here.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. I think they should hang on to him.
I agree
think
with that.
every team in the league needs a serviceable backup, because if you don't have it, you're going to be in trouble.
Right.
And
And
something happens, you're in trouble.
on top of that, they also placed rookie quarterback Matt Corral, season-ending injury reserve. He will not
That's
play
too
this
bad,
year.
because that's a up-and-coming guy.
Yeah, but
He's a pretty good kid.
you know something? It's almost good he's not getting thrown into that situation.
That is true.
You know what I mean? So, but in quarterback injury news, in other quarterback injury news, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson went down. He is expected to miss the first few weeks of the
They're
season.
saying 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3, which
I think it could possibly be more.
in NFL words, it's 4 to 5. So another phoenix shall rise from the ashes. Joe Flacco is
God.
going to be the Jets' Week 1 starter. I mean,
Okay,
Joe Flacco,
there you go.
Super
Talked
Bowl
about it
champion.
last week.
I'm sorry, did he win MVP in that game with Baltimore? Is he the one that won MVP, or was it Ray Lewis?
It had to have been.
I can't remember who
It
won.
had to have been.
I'm not sure.
MVP
Check
of
that
that
real
game.
quick. Just Google Ravens Super Bowl MVP, but it had to be. There's no way.
Flacco?
Huh?
Was it Flacco?
There's no way.
Against the
It
49ers?
Joe
was.
Flacco against
Wow.
the 49ers.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion and
Yes.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
Who do you think was worse, Trent Dilfer or Joe Flacco?
Oh, it was definitely Trent Dilfer. I mean,
Is Flacco a close second, though?
I would say so.
Flacco
I
ain't
got
that bad.
out of all the Super Bowl winning
It wasn't that
quarterbacks,
bad.
they had to probably be the two worst quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls.
Was Joe Flacco ever elite?
Was ever what?
Elite.
No.
You would never have given him the elite.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well,
Serviceable. They're serviceable guys. You can
But a
win
little
Super
more
Bowl.
than serviceable. So he's not
Huh?
kind of Sam Darnold serviceable.
You can win a Super Bowl with a serviceable quarterback.
he has
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
But
Most
that,
quarterbacks that win
when
a
your
Super Bowl
defense
are
is scoring
serviceable.
17 points a game, that's the reason why they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean, that Ravens defense that won the Super Bowl is probably one of the best ever. But moving on, in some other news, Juju Smith-Schuster, the Kansas City Chiefs' new wide receiver, will be ready to play in Week 1. So that is some good news.
That's big. I think he's going to have a big year.
yeah.
I really do.
I think he fits very nicely
You were
into that
right
offense.
on this. You were right. Also, you were talking about Schuster being a sleeper, and I think you're right.
You know, I mean, PSA, don't expect him to put up Tyreek Hill numbers. Okay? Don't. He's not going to put up Tyreek Hill
Oh,
numbers.
he doesn't have the run after catch.
He doesn't have the talent Tyreek Hill has. In a nutshell, that's it.
Correct.
But as a perfect complement to Travis Kelce on that offense with a lot of other young, less notable, speedy receivers,
Yes.
Schuster
I
will
think you're
stand
going to
out.
see a different type of Kansas City offense this year. I really do.
I agree.
I think you're going to see a team that's more predicated to the run than they have been in the past.
Right.
I really do.
I think they're going to have to. And it'll be interesting because out of the Chiefs camp, obviously Clyde Edwards is the starter, but Ronald Jones, we've heard a lot of mixed reviews on him coming out of camp. Some people say he could start and steal the job away from Clyde. Other people say he's not going to make the team. So that'll be an interesting thing to watch. That Chiefs offense is, like you said, going to be different. And I think it's going to be really interesting. So we're going to keep an eye on that.
I think you're going to see them go back to what they were when they won the Super Bowl that year. You're going to see it more of a Kareem Hunt-based offense than you have in the past. They're going to be more predicated with the run than normal.
Yeah, I think that's true. They're going to have to be. Because at the end of the day, Travis Kelce is what he is, and you know what you're
They
going to
haven't
get
had a consistent running back
since Kareem Hunt.
since he left.
Yeah. Detroit Lions rookie wide receiver Jamison Williams has been placed on the reserve non-football injury list because obviously he got injured in college. And he will miss at least the first 4 games. He will be eligible to return after week 4. I think he's going to miss a few more than that if the Lions are
They're
smart.
not going to rush him back. I don't see them.
If the
They
Lions
really
are
don't
smart,
need to rush him right now.
No.
you let him take his time.
Yeah.
Take as much time as he needs to get right.
Please.
Because he's electric.
Please.
You'll see he'll be electric right out of the gate.
Yeah. He won't miss. I think if they give him the proper amount of rest,
Yeah.
he will come in and make an instant impact. There's not really a question in my mind there. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver for the New York Giants, will be activated from the pup before week 1 and will play
They need him.
week 1.
He's probably their most solid receiver.
Here's the issue with him. What are you going to get? I don't even remember. This is the problem with the Giants wide receivers in a whole. We don't know who's fucking there. Is Kenny Galladay alive? Do they want Kadarius Toney on the team? And is Sterling Shepard even still viable?
These guys cannot put together more than a 4 or 5 game stint without seeing injured.
Massive injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as fantasy ramifications go,
Wide receiver wise, they're always decimated.
they're
with injury.
always decimated. The
I
Giants
don't
just-
get it.
Wide receiver wise, in fantasy-wise, I think Sterling Shepard being there takes that Kadarius Toney interest down for me a little bit. But I'm staying the fuck away from both of them, personally.
Staying away from any Giant
Anybody
receiver.
with a Giants uniform on, you just stay away from.
Unless it's their defense.
Cincinnati Bengals safety Jesse Bates has returned to the team and signed his franchise tag, so he will be with them for at least this year, and he will get paid $12.9 million.
It's too bad they couldn't work out a contract with him. I think he's the catalyst of that defense.
I agree, and I think
really
if they have an issue working out a contract with him, they'll double tag him. And I don't think that would be terrible. Just double tag him. You need to keep him there. I think Jesse Bates is one of the most underrated safeties in the league. It's a very, very, very good thing that the Giants are keeping him. You know, I saw this. Desmond Ridder has kind of looked good in the preseason.
He's not a bad quarterback. You know, the Lions were really high on him.
I know. And I'm watching him, and I was very high. I'm higher than most on Mariota. I'll say that.
I'm going to say this. Mariota is going to have a very good year. If he could stay healthy,
Want to know
I
something?
got a feeling he's going to really tear it up.
I think there's a little bit more of a quarterback competition going on in Atlanta than meets the eye.
I don't think so. I think it's Mariota's job, period.
I mean, Desmond Ridder, 10 for 13 for 143 yards.
He's playing against a bunch of twos. And a
I
bunch of
know.
threes.
I know.
Mariota's looked good from day one, so I don't have an issue with him at all. In fact, I think, you know what? We all thought Atlanta was going to be at the bottom of the barrel here. I don't believe that's going to happen.
I know.
I really don't. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
I think Carolina has definitely made a jump. And next week when our week 1 power rankings come out, that jump will be reflected. Unfortunately, in that division, obviously the Buccaneers hold a lot of the power. I think New Orleans is pretty middle of the road. I think Atlanta is making its way towards New Orleans a little.
We got to see if Jameis Winston's even going to be ready there in New Orleans. The last time I seen him, he had this big old knee brace on and could not move around at all.
Well, I don't even know. Taysom Hill's still on the Saints. There you go.
Yeah,
Toss
but he's
him out there,
playing
man.
tight end or some shit like that.
Yeah, just throw him out there wherever, you know. Other than that, I think that's the news. I think we are pretty caught up.
Talk about,
Before we go there,
okay.
reports coming out of Tampa are that Tom Brady looked absolutely fantastic in his first practice back with the team after his 2-week hiatus. And he confirmed via Twitter that he was not on The Masked Singer. I will tell you this. I was in New York. I was on the toilet. I was reading tweets, and I saw the Masked Singer thing come out. And I saw somebody that went way down the rabbit hole
With the whole Fox.
about how he signed the deal with Fox before he decided he wanted to come back, and then the deal that he had to make with Fox to be able to keep the broadcasting contract was that he'd do the Masked Singer, and that's why Tampa Bay knew he was going to be gone, because the Masked Singer thing was in his Fox contract and it was already planned, and Tom Brady was on the Masked Singer. I was sold. I was like, Tom Brady's on the fucking Masked Singer. This is awesome. But he confirmed it wasn't true. He confirmed it wasn't true. He is back with the team, so everybody can take a deep breath now.
I was kind of hoping his wife was going to leave him
No, that's not.
to make it interesting.
Could you imagine how pissed he'd be? He'd probably come out and they'd go undefeated.
That's not going to happen. They just lost another lineman, too.
Their Buccaneers offensive line is definitely something to keep an eye on right now, because I'm not going to lie. It's starting to make me nervous.
It's very nerve-wracking. They're going to be playing a bunch of second unit guys at best. And
I mean, Russell Gage didn't practice this week. He's banged up.
I wasn't even worried about Russell Gage. You know
Chris
what?
Godwin is just starting to come back and do 11 on 11
I
drills.
don't even need him right now.
Mike Evans is back at practice, tweak hamstring. But
Julio Jones is there, and he's strong.
The offensive line
That's
is
scary.
starting to really worry me because Brady can do a lot, but if he's on his back at 45 years old,
Yeah, it's not gonna end well for him. That's
it won't
for sure.
end well. It won't.
They can't fix these things here in the next couple of weeks, and be confident in what they got. They could be in some serious shit.
Okay, let's talk about what's on everybody's mind before we get back into fantasy and closing out the preseason, essentially. Deshaun Watson has accepted his changed up punishment by Roger Goodell, which is an 11-week suspension and a $5 million fine. The Cleveland Browns will also be paying $2 million in fines. All of the money will be donated to some sort of women's charity, which is a very, very, very good thing for the NFL to do, especially in this situation. I do commend Goodell for doing that and taking those checks and donating them to charity. That was definitely the right move on his part. Now, the 11 weeks, I think we made a little bit of headway over 6. But again, come on, man.
It's a fucking clown show.
It's
a fucking clown show. Listen, you brought in an arbitrator. You brought in a judge to do this case. And she had found 6 games to be reasonable. And then he's going to step in and add 5 more games to it. What was the fucking point of going to an outside source if you're going to turn around and do that?
Okay.
What is the point? What is the point? He is such a clown, man. Man, what are you fucking
with
doing
you here?
Does he realize how inept it looks?
Okay. Judges are supposed to decipher law, all right? And if you go by the book, what Deshaun Watson did by the book was violate the code of conduct, which is
Correct.
6 games.
And we've talked about that before.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is this. Why waste everybody's time and resources and effort and money into doing that and then turn around and give them fucking 5 more games on top of it?
Because
it makes no sense.
Because that's what the collective bargaining...
no sense.
Because that's what they decided to do in the collective bargaining agreement, was that they were going to bring this person in to arbitrate and give them and do the punishments, so that way you wouldn't have this constant
but you
conflict.
just totally undermined her authority.
But if you dig
She
a little...
said she wished she could have gave him more.
Right. But
Yeah, I understand that. But her ruling should have been final.
No, I disagree.
I think her rule. Then why even use her? Why even use that?
Because
if you were going to suspend this guy for 11 games, he should have just got 11 games or a fucking year and it been done with. Why did they go waste the money to an outside source to do this? It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Because in the collective bargaining agreement, what the judge was brought in to do is determine what rules this player violated.
Correct.
Okay? And then give a suspension or a ruling or whatever you want to call it based on that. So because like we talked about, there's no outline for this behavior in the rule book. All it is the blanket. The only thing you can throw at him is the blanket. He violated the code of conduct.
Correct. That's the
Violation
blanket.
of the code of conduct is 6 weeks. Done. Because there's nothing else there. So now, and I give Roger Goodell the benefit of the doubt here. Violating the code of conduct and, tweeting out the NFL referees are a bunch of fucking assholes and suspending somebody for 6 games and what Deshaun Watson did are 2 different things. The punishment of 6 games by the book, that was all they could do. But then if you're going to take it from a logical standpoint and put the book to the side,
I totally get what you're saying right now.
that fits the punishment.
But what I'm saying is this. You wasted everybody's fucking time. He should have just made it indefinite, sat back, let it play itself out in court like he did, and then make a decision afterwards. You didn't need to bring somebody else into it.
But you're missing the point. They have to. In the CBA, between the PA and the NFL, they have to. It has to go to her first. It has to go to the judge first.
Okay.
There's no option. That was the agreement they struck to avoid.
Yeah, but you just totally undermined what she did.
Correct. But she came out with the explanation and said, that's all I could do.
Exactly.
I would have done more, but because I am supposed to do this by the book, this is all I could do.
So
Hopefully Roger Goodell does
Roger
more.
Goodell the right to come in and give him 5 more games.
Because he's the head motherfucker in charge, and he can do it.
Well, that's just, it's wrong.
Because she could not.
It's wrong.
She could not. Because if she would have, she would have been violating what she was set out to do, which is do things by the book.
Well, you kind of get what I'm saying then.
I agree. The whole thing is fucked up.
It's a clusterfuck.
Make it should be that way. You're either going to do it completely by the book or not by the book. But again,
it
NFL
was all just a big waste of time is what it was.
The NFL never handles this properly. And I'll tell you what.
It was a media show.
I don't know what his wife's name is. I want to say it's Dee Haslam, Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the fucking Browns. Yeah. You are a fucking scumbag. I am willing to toss his fucking ass right up. He is on a fast track to the fucking top. You, Jimmy Haslam, are a fucking scumbag. And you know what? Deshaun Watson, you're an even bigger fucking scumbag because
let me tell you something. I expressed to you last week about what he did. He claimed his innocence the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Then he knows that the fire's about to come down. Yeah. So then he puts out this bullshit apology.
And then double cross that apology.
And then come back and say after that. Then a few days later, he comes out making excuses for himself again. So at what point does any of this make any goddamn sense?
You want to know what made me want to throw up about that whole fucking thing? I'm going to give me a second to break this the fuck down because I was sitting there watching this all unfold and I wanted to throw up. He comes out and he claims innocence the whole time. Then he issues an apology. Then, after this is handed down, he's standing up there with the owner and his fucking wife, okay, giving their little 2 cents on it. And he didn't apologize for what he did. He didn't apologize for he goes, I'm sorry if the situation triggered anybody. That's what he apologized for.
That made absolutely no fucking sense to me.
I'm claiming my innocence, but I'm sorry if the situation triggered anybody.
Who is it that's telling this guy what to do? Who's representing this guy?
His scumbag agent.
Awful.
And his scumbag agent, which I need to find his name.
Yeah, can you Google his name? Watson's agent. I'd like to know.
David Mulgeta.
What is his name?
David Mulgeta, Mulgheta. And then he came out.
Mulgeta?
Okay. David Mulgeta. He came out and issued and put out a fucking tweet that made me want to throw up even more. Hold on. I'm going to find it real quick here. Oh. To be clear, Judge Robinson repeated the NFL's narrative. She received a brief from the NFL weeks before we had the opportunity to talk to her. In our first call with the judge, she referred to Deshaun's pattern of behavior. Her mind was made up before we even presented a counter. Well, no shit. Because Deshaun's pattern of behavior, which is well documented, which he admitted to, was shit. The pattern of behavior is complete.
Of course he's going to use that as an excuse.
It's complete instability.
Yes.
Okay, because we know what the pattern of behavior is. The pattern of behavior is a guy getting paid $30+ million a year with an entire NFL team's facility behind him in one of America's largest cities, driving hours out of his way to go get massages from masseuses he found off Craigslist in the Texas boonies. That pattern of behavior in itself, without anything else there, is completely unstable. Period. So yes, David Mulgeta,
Yeah.
Anybody with
Next
eyes,
time, take
including
your
the
client,
judge,
send him to the fucking brothel.
Yes.
You fucking asshole.
anyone with eyes, including the judge, could see that his pattern of behavior was incorrect. Even without the allegations. There's something wrong with that pattern of behavior. Again, the NFL, I'll give them this, and you know I'm never, ever, ever one to give Roger Goodell props. I fucking can't stand him.
I think Goodell's a clown.
I agree.
I
But
really
on
do.
This
I'm not
one,
giving him any
He
props on
is
this at
a
all.
clown.
On this one, imagine if he wouldn't have done anything.
Listen to me. Like I said, he should have gave him a fucking year from the get.
Agree.
From the get.
Agree.
From the get. Let it go to arbitration. If she would have said 6 games, then give him 11.
Now,
Then I would have respected him for that. Because he made the attempt. He did nothing. He did nothing. He let it sit. He let it fester. He let it get out of fucking control. I'm talking about Roger Goodell.
But-
he waited for the legal proceedings to finish. Okay? Then they bring in the arbitrator before he even fucking makes a statement.
but that's you're missing it. They have to do that.
I thought that he had to make a ruling
No.
first before the arbitrators come in.
Arbitrators do it first.
Okay. Well, I still think he dropped the ball.
But that's why I'll give him props, because he could have done nothing. And he
should have suspended him indefinitely until it was all cleared up.
But
period.
here's the issue with that. Then you would have had an ongoing battle.
What,
Because
a
if they-
violation?
No.
That's a violation of his rights?
No, if they would have suspended him indefinitely, then the NFLPA and Deshaun would have countersued, and then we'd have it going to real court, and it'd be going on for a year, and Deshaun would have played this year, and the whole thing, the Deflategate
Right, I get it.
situation.
They wanted to.
So they
all
had
right.
to come up with
All right,
something
I get it.
that would fit in the middle. And I think
I
they
just
did
think
a
it's all
decent
wrong.
job of that. It's all wrong.
I think he misrepresented himself. I think the people that are speaking for him are fucking clueless. And it should have never have gotten as far as it has.
I could not fucking believe when I saw the owner of the Cleveland Browns up there giving this spiel about how Deshaun's going to go to a center and he's going to have an evaluation and they're going to get this worked out. You know, everybody
for him.
deserves a second chance.
Okay.
I got a question for fucking...
What did he do wrong then?
Right.
If he's so fucking innocent, why does he need a second chance?
I have a question for them. If it was one of the Cleveland Browns owner's daughters that was making these accusations, would you be standing up there, Jimmy Haslam, talking about how,
Defending him?
He's going to go to a center and get an evaluation and, you know, hopefully then everybody deserves a second chance. No. You and all your fucking billions would be doing anything you could to make sure he
lock him
never
up.
saw the fucking
Yes.
light of day again. You're a fucking asshole
And a hypocrite.
and a scumbag.
And a
Deshaun
hypocrite.
Watson, Jimmy Haslam's wife, who I believe is Dee Haslam or whatever the fuck her name is, and David Mulgeta, your agent. You're all a bunch of fucking scumbags. And the worst part about it is the agent and the owner knew this was going to happen because of the way the contract is, and that makes them all even more scumbags.
Correct.
The
Because they were
entire-
trying to make it as less money as possible
Yes.
that he'd
not
have
to
to
hurt
pay.
his fucking pockets.
Yes.
So
Well, guess what? They got their guy.
they
They got
him.
their guy. Okay, he's going to sit the first 11 games.
Yep.
Okay, which I think they'll be done. You can count on them probably finishing toward the basement.
Oh, yeah.
They should be.
I agree.
They'll be one step up from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And by the time he comes back, hopefully it's too late for them to do anything about it
oh, no, it will be.
for this year.
The Browns are irrelevant this year, but you know what's fucked up?
I feel sorry for guys like Myles Garrett and guys that are going to be playing their heart out there. How can you expect these guys to stand up and play as hard as they can for people that own teams like that and that are just fucking irrelevant? They're garbage. We know this. We've been a Detroit fan base forever. We know how bad an inept ownership is.
Could you?
Until they fucking turn it around, and I'm glad that the Ravens won that Super Bowl. Fuck Cleveland. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Could you imagine if that? I will say this: if this was Detroit, and that happened, and it was Jared Goff in this situation, I don't think Martha Ford would be out there doing that. That is truly
You mean Sheila Ford Hemp?
Sheila Fordham, any of them would be out there
No, they wouldn't be.
talking like that.
No, they'd be going the other way. They're not.
I was just blown away when I saw that.
Yeah.
The three of them standing up there in front of the Browns logo making a statement about this guy and about how he needs to go be evaluated and he'll be okay and he deserves his second chance.
Hey, I remember Ray Rice getting fucking bombarded, dude, and I didn't see anybody from ownership for the Ravens stand behind him
Kareem Hunt.
when he punched his wife in the face.
Yeah.
Nobody stood up, backed him. I mean, they supported him. They said they were supporting him, but nobody came out and said, "Oh, you know what? We got his back," and this and that.
And the other thing, he did say that. Jimmy Haslam said that. Oh, we gave Kareem a second chance, and look how that turned out. But again, not discounting what Kareem Hunt did. The severity of the situation, it was just so undermined. The whole thing was a carnival.
They said that about Kareem Hunt? Mm-hmm. If I was Kareem Hunt, I'd want out of there. And he does.
He does.
I know that.
Yeah, so we're waiting to
wants out
hear
of there.
about that, too.
He obviously sees the goddamn festering clusterfuck that is the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly.
He obviously sees it.
Bruce has something that he needs to chime in here about, so go ahead.
I was just going to say that they settled with 23 out of 24 women.
Right. There's one lone ranger
One
that hasn't
Lone
settled.
Ranger. I hope she just goes all for it.
I do, too.
I hope she buries this motherfucker.
I said this last week. Shit like this.
Here's the problem, though.
She called
and
him
I'm
a
gonna tell you
predator
this.
with power.
What?
She called him a predator with power.
Okay. Well, guess what? There's still no legal shit that's going to be thrown at
Why
him.
do you think that she's
It
not
all depends.
settling?
It's all the how should I put this? The criminal aspects of it have already gone through. That is done. He will not be indicted criminally at all. So it's all about money.
Hey.
It has nothing to do with him going. He will not go to prison.
You're missing this.
What do you mean?
That's a loose end.
It's not a loose end.
Yes,
Her
it
cases
is.
are all the cases that were being thought after already went before the commission, and they cannot charge him on the evidence that was brought to them.
How many times in this country do you think if something gains enough noise, if this woman gains
get
enough
what you're
noise,
saying. I
they
get what
open
you're
this
saying.
shit
Listen-
back up?
Hold on. I'll read it.
The only way this will go forward is this.
In her lawsuit, an alleged Watson exposed his penis to her several times and asked her to do things she felt uncomfortable with during their session. The experience left her feeling trapped, angry, and dirty.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
sounds like enough
Okay.
to go after the guy. if you
Okay.
ask me.
Did she call the police? Did
Yeah.
she make a police report? Did the police come to the residence?
Either way,
Did the police come to the residence?
that's
Did they
beside.
charge him?
No.
Did they arrest him?
No.
No.
But the
Guess what?
longer
This will gain momentum.
the longer she stays out there, the more of a chance this has of picking up more and more steam, more and more news, pressure from the public, and we have the Houston DA reopening.
I see what you're saying, dude, but criminally there is nothing there. There's nothing there criminally. That's the problem.
From what she said.
It wasn't sexual assault. He did not rape her. He did not fucking touch her. He was talking about her touching him.
No.
And if that's the case, it's a money issue. That's all
Watson
it is.
exposed his penis to her several times.
Okay.
If you were at Kroger and you walked around exposing your penis several times,
Yes, I think you would go to jail for indecent exposure.
correct.
I get that. But when you're a massage therapist who massages people that are naked, I highly doubt that that's going to happen.
Guess what?
That's the nature of the beast.
Welcome
the
to
nature of the business.
2022, baby.
I'm sorry?
me-
Catch up with your times.
You kind of understand
Different
what I'm
times.
saying? Have you ever had a massage at a place before?
No.
A
Yeah.
parlor?
Many a
Have
time.
you?
Never
Many a
gotten
time.
massage.
Are you naked?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But you're
That's
under
what I'm saying.
blankets and shit.
You ever roll over and a towel fall off of you?
No.
Absolutely.
No, my dick has stayed firmly under the towels and sheets.
I
and
don't
all
believe
of
that whatsoever.
Oh, my
You touch your dick more than anybody I know. I'm telling you right now, I just think it was handled the wrong way. There's nothing criminally that this guy could be charged with. Nothing. You want to charge him with a decent exposure? That's about all you're going to get on him. And that's a fine and a smack on the hand, and you go on your way. That's all it is.
Well,
So what I'm trying to say is this. Anything above and beyond what's going on right now, it's just about money. It's about money. Is he a scumbag? Yes. Is he going to have to go to little classes and say, hey, don't violate people's space with your penis? Yes, he's going to have that.
She said
You can't do that.
She's denied all offers because
Of course she did.
of the language of such offers have not included any sincere acknowledgement of remorse and wrong.
Guess what? Her thing is, you want to know why she's
nor
holding
have
out?
they included any promises of rehabilitative
Whatever.
treatment.
She's holding out for more cash. She's the smart one out of the other 24, 23. She's holding out for the mega millions. And I don't blame her. I would do the same goddamn
so
thing.
would I. Yeah, so
I would do the same fucking thing if I was her.
She's got every right to.
You know?
Yeah.
Huh?
She's got every right to.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Listen, the whole case, the whole 24 cases, all of this was about money.
Yeah, but if you get enough
It's not
backing
about
that this
him
guy's
being-
just such a scumbag, like the Browns eventually just have to pull the plug on him.
Listen to me.
No, they don't. That's what you're missing. The Browns don't, and they never will, because the Browns,
I guess that's true.
the Browns, honest to God,
They're messed up.
Why do you think the Cleveland Browns
They're
are
a
being
dumpster
fined
fire.
also?
yeah, because they played
Why do you think they're
along
being
with it.
fined?
Yeah,
They're okay with it.
Yeah,
That's why they
that's
got
true.
fucking fined too.
they don't
you're
give
right.
a. That's it. They don't
They
give
don't
a fuck.
care.
I guess you're right.
Jimmy Haslam, you have sold your soul to the devil. You
That's
evil
it.
fuck.
And you'll get it in the end. You're going to get exactly what you deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, should we talk about football?
Yeah. Sure.
Beautiful. Let's actually talk about football, because honestly, we've talked enough about this scumbag.
Yeah. Let's not give him any more fucking time, please. Fucking asshole.
Okay,
Excuse my French, everybody.
let's.
I know I cuss a little too much.
Okay, we're going to talk about week 1 of the NFL season because it's 2 weeks away. Next week, we're going to come at you with 2 shows.
I mean, week 2. Are you talking about future or?
I don't want to talk about any more fucking preseason shit. I've had enough.
We've seen a lot of rookies do some crazy
kind of
shit.
seen some exciting plays. There's some players that have been standing out.
Go. Let's get the
Who's
rundown.
been standing out for you? Who did you just tell me about
Me,
today?
from what I have
Besides
seen,
Desmond Ritter.
from what I have seen, Desmond Ritter looked fantastic so far. I'll say that.
Good against the Lions.
He looked good against the Lions. This week, again, 10 for 12 passing, 140 yards. I know it's preseason. I don't put much weight on any of this shit, but like at the end of the day, the guy's having a very, very nice preseason for a rookie.
I like
QB.
George Pickens. I thought George Pickens has played outstanding
George Pickens.
preseason.
George Pickens is going to be, I think, that guy that everybody,
The Victor Cruz.
like, he's the one that everybody's going to be kind of irritated they missed out on.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, Drake London went, 10, 11 overall? George Pickens went mid-second round?
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'll be shocked if we see Drake London play 10-plus games this year. And that was
If he's even ready.
if
When
he's
the
even
season
ready to
started.
start the season.
Yeah.
I mean, and that sucks. But I'll say this. George Pickens might blow up a lot of fantasy games because who else is there? I mean, they have Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah. And he carried them
They
last.
have Najee Harris. Like, slowly, that Steelers offense that, and granted, is Mitch Trubisky, who's going to be the starter? Most likely Mitch, but we'll see.
It's gonna be Kenny.
If it's Kenny
Gonna be
Pickett,
Kenny Pickett.
and they give him the reins and say, go out there and play. The Steelers offense is really starting to look.
Starting to gel.
You know, everybody
Interesting.
thought
I won't say
everybody
good,
thought
I'll
these
say
guys were going to
interesting.
be in the basement. I don't know about that. I don't know.
I don't think so
If
either.
these guys
anymore.
come out hot, that defense, puts together a better showing than they did last year. They were actually pretty awful against the run last year. If they can be strong this year, and these young quarterbacks kind of gel, you never know.
How do you feel about Bailey Zapp?
I'm actually a big fan of his. I really am.
I knew that was going to be
I'm a big fan of his.
Bailey Zapp, the Patriots quarterback, just out there.
Out of Western Kentucky.
16 for 25, 173 yards, an interception, and a sack.
He plays with a lot of heart.
Does he?
He reminds me of Taylor Heineke.
Does he? Another one I want to see a little bit more work on, but I think Chris Olave is going to be really good.
I do too. I like him, and I think if basically if Michael Thomas comes back, because everybody will be rolling coverage toward him, Olave could have a monster year.
Fucking year. He gets me. He gets me very.
He's such
excited.
a precise route runner. I'm telling you, man.
Out of all of the rookie wide receivers we have seen, I think Chris Olave, when he's on the field, looks the most
pro ready.
Yes.
Besides Pickens.
Yep.
I think him and Pickens both
Him and
look
Pickens
pro-ready.
have both looked
They're both
crisp.
pro ready.
Like crisp. Davis Mills. What are your thoughts so far there?
Well, I mean, he really hasn't played.
No,
But
he had
played a little
17
bit.
attempts in the last game.
Yeah, he got ass hammered in the last game. I seen it.
Yes, he did.
And
He
they look a little out of sync. They're learning a new system, and I get that. So we'll see what happens with them.
the Broncos and the Bills. The Bills somehow put up 42 points. Duke Johnson had 2 rushing touchdowns, and as did Zach Moss.
That's you're not going to see that during the year.
I
We're
know.
playing against a bunch of second. and
Most of those
third-team
guys will probably be fucking cut.
Yeah.
I mean,
if either one of those guys even make the team,
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, there hasn't been that much that stood out to me.
well, here's the thing. It's a thing locally here. Who's going to win the backup job here? Is it David Blau or is it the other
It's
cat?
Boyle.
Huh?
It's Boyle.
It's got to be Tim.
It's
fucking.
Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Boyle's not the greatest fucking. Excuse my French.
Blau has been awful.
Yeah, Blau's
I
been
don't
terrible.
mean to get on him, but the thing is right here. You cost the team the game in the first preseason game. I get it's preseason. It means nothing. He fucking dropped the ball. They lost because of him.
Right.
Now, in the second preseason game, they wound up winning by a point, but this guy turned the ball, put the ball on the ground again,
Tim Boyle was back out there.
and then threw an interception.
Was Tim Boyle at the end of the
Talking
game?
about David Blau.
Yeah, I know. I didn't catch the beginning of the game.
Listen, he put the ball on the ground again, and then threw a pick.
Okay.
He turned the ball turned over 3 times in 2 games.
Do we really give a fuck if it?
No, you
wanna know
what?
who I give a fuck about?
Here's the problem. If Goff goes down,
If golf goes down, they're not going to win a fucking
they
game.
are
so it's
absolutely
irrelevant.
fucked.
It's not necessarily
But
true.
if we want to talk about the fucking Lions, okay? There's one name.
Michael Bryant.
No. After his monster performance in week 1, wide receiver Tom Kennedy came out again this week.
Oh,
2
yeah.
touchdown
Tom
receptions.
Kennedy will make the team. Here's the thing. Who's going to not make the roster?
Right.
Is it Cephas?
It's going to be Cephas.
No,
Cephas ain't
it
gonna
could
make
be
the
Khalif,
Khalif Raymond.
or
Khalif
it could be,
Raymond?
who's that other, Reynolds? Maybe.
Josh Reynolds?
No, they'll keep
Craig
that.
Reynolds.
Oh,
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds will make the team.
You think so?
I really do. I think he's number 3 on the running back chart.
Oh.
I think he's jumped in front of Jefferson and Justin Jackson. I really do.
Justin Jackson, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make the team. And God, a guy
Well,
with,
it's either him or Jefferson.
a guy who had so much upside, but
Jackson's actually played really well,
I know, but he's
and
just,
Jefferson hasn't been able to stay on the field right now.
Right.
you know who else looked pretty bad out of the quarterback position? Sam Howell.
Now, when I seen him, he didn't look that bad. He had a pretty good game that first game.
The second game, he went 10 for 18, 122 yards, a pick, and 2 sacks, which is not wildly impressive.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. Mahomes was out there for a lot of snaps. Mahomes is out there for a lot of fucking snaps again.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe he won't play at all in week 3.
That's possible.
Mahomes, 12
Well, here's
for
the
19,
thing. Andy Reid doesn't
162
like to
yards
play
and
any
2
of his
touchdowns.
starters that third preseason game
Oh.
because he wants all. He's still evaluating who's going to be on the roster.
Let's hope.
And I get that.
How do you feel about Kyle Trask's performance? Your favorite young quarterback.
I actually didn't get a chance to see it.
11 for 24 for 105 yards and a pick, a quarterback rating of 41.
41?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Better than David Blau, but it's not good.
Slightly. Malik Willis cooled off again this week, too.
Hey, he's got a hell of a fucking arm.
Here's the thing with
He's got
Malik
a
Willis.
hell of an arm.
Now do you understand why Mike Vrabel was fucking melting down in that first game? Now you kind of fucking understand it, right? The guy needs to fucking read his progressions. He needs to drop back, read the defense, and stop running around and being cute like Pat Mahomes. You got to fucking go through your progressions. And he's not doing it.
He had that
and I
one,
get it.
He had that one touchdown. And it was a double coverage, and it was like a gunsling, just straight off the arm. It's pretty cool. Wasn't bad. Throwing into double coverage, yeah, I know.
You fucking
but-
understand what I'm saying here?
I mean,
You
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
What the hell?
Okay. A couple pieces of news just came out. Chase Young will miss the first 4 games.
Oh, we
of
knew
the
that
year.
was going to happen.
It's on the reserve
Yeah.
pup
I had it up.
officially.
He's not ready. He might miss even more than that.
Hold on.
There's some 49ers player on the pup
Hold on.
for set.
Where did it go?
Versetti, or I don't know what the hell his name is.
Where'd it go? The Raiders cut Kenyon Drake.
They had no room for him.
They had no fucking room.
Wow.
Yeah. They said they tried to trade him, but nothing materialized
Right,
due to
and they
his
had-
contract.
These younger guys, they just drafted a guy too. So these younger guys have stepped up and they've decided they haven't needed him.
And this one's a big one. Chargers corner J.C. Jackson will miss the first 4 weeks. He underwent ankle surgery today in New York. That one is there goes your boy. There's always a reason why he cut somebody.
Who?
Belichick.
He didn't cut him.
Well, let him walk.
He let him
Whatever.
walk. Well, you know how Belichick.
See this?
We don't even need to go there. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you right now.
We're going to get into that in 1 second. But one other thing. The Falcons cut both Geronimo Allison and Auden Tate.
Well,
That one kind of surprised
Allison was
me.
on the Lions last year
Yeah.
and never even seen the field,
Yeah,
so
so-
that'll tell you.
There's a career over. But there's a lot of things coming in right now. So as we go through the rest of the episode, I'll update us every so often because the cuts down to 80 have to happen today.
Correct.
So everybody's cutting 5 guys today. And the
And
Ravens
by
have,
next week, they have to be down to whatever it is, 55.
Ravens
Liza
place Gus Edwards on the IR. So he'll miss the first 4 games.
Well, we kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah. That just sucks because, God, I love him. But anyways, I want to touch on that, and then I want to get into some stuff for week 1. The rumors are already swirling that Mike McCarthy is not in the best place with Jerry Jones right now, and before the season even fucking starts, he's on the hot seat.
Hey,
So,
Jerry Jones probably listens to the pod.
hey, Jerry, if you're listening,
Fuck, he doesn't have to listen. He's
get
seen it.
fucking rid of the guy.
He should see it. He's fucking there.
It's dog water.
Why do we have to tell him? He
Okay.
should fucking see it. The guy's inept.
Realistically,
He's a nice guy, but
we haven't talked about the Cowboys in a second. Realistically, we know how talented the Cowboys roster is, right? On
Right.
paper, every year, the Cowboys should be in the fucking Super Bowl. And
Pretty much.
every year, they get ousted in the first fucking round of the playoffs. So,
if they make the playoffs.
this is what's really interesting. If Mike McCarthy's already on the fucking seat, when they play Tampa week 1 and lose, and then play Cincinnati week 2 and go 0-2 to start out the year at home.
Oh, he should be gone.
Does Jerry Jones have the balls to do that?
But here's the thing: I'm still shocked he's there.
I mean,
I can't believe he didn't fire him last year.
what
I mean, what excuse can you use for last year? For them
I don't know.
Totally underachieving last year.
It's every year, though. But you know what the fucked up part about it is?
I mean, what do you use, injuries?
They were just as bad with Jason Garrett. So is this a
Culture?
It's a Jerry Jones problem almost.
Listen,
Do you know something?
here's the problem. They haven't done anything since Jimmy Johnson left there.
Their schedule, I mean, they'll be 500 by the bye week. Like, it's almost a guarantee. Do you think they drop those first 2 at home in a bad fashion in Sean Payton's coaching week 3?
Oh, you think Sean Payton will be brought in that quick?
I mean, that's
If they-
literally what I thought.
just can't see Sean Payton.
Okay.
I don't see that happening. Here's what the scenario playing it out will be this. The offensive coordinator, what's his name? The kid from Boise.
Oh, I'm looking at his goofy face. He played
Fuck
here.
is his name? Bruce? The kid from Boise. The quarterback.
I keep wanting to say
Quarterback.
Dallas
He's the
Goddard.
offensive
That's
coordinator
not
there. Fuck, he played for Detroit, dude. He was
Kellen
here.
Moore.
Kellen Moore. I could see Kellen Moore being an interim guy after probably fucking week 3 or 4 when they start out in the toilet and Mike McCarthy finally get fucking axed.
Okay. This is their first 6 weeks. At home against Tampa, at home against Cincinnati.
Right.
At the Giants.
Right.
At home against Washington.
Okay.
At LA Rams.
Okay.
At Philadelphia.
Okay. So I got them going 2 and
4.
2 and 4.
2 and 4. I think they're
If they go 2 and 4, I think Mike McCarthy.
if they go to Philadelphia and lose,
yeah.
and that puts them at 2 and 4, he'll be gone.
Hey, you don't even know. They could go to they could be at home and get stunk by Washington.
That's not gonna happen.
I don't think that'll happen either.
And
but
then they play at home against Detroit, at home against Chicago, and hit the bye week.
well, they got a chance to win a couple games right there. They got a good opportunity to bounce back from that bad start and possibly get to 500.
I think that Mike McCarthy will be gone. Mike McCarthy will not be coaching the Cowboys against the Lions on October 23rd. That's my take of the day.
That's your hot take?
It's just
That's the hot take of the day.
there's no way. You want to know something? Depending on how fucking terrible those 2 first games go, he might be gone before week 3.
I think they will at least give him a shot to go halfway. I think if by
week 9.
week 7 or 8,
They're going to give him the
if
pass
they're
on the really
fucking
bad games.
under 500 and mediocrity is there.
See, but like,
I think
how are
he's
you going to
gone.
judge him if he can't beat Tampa week 1, and if they can't beat the Bengals week 2?
If they can't,
They
beat a
can't
beat
go
up-
into the playoffs.
If they come out
Like-
week 1 and lay an egg against Tampa, whose
Yeah.
offensive line is horrible, and they can't beat the Bucks, I think it's going to be a downhill spiral from there.
Yeah, because then they're not going to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah,
if they
but
can't
that's
beat
the thing.
Tampa
If they
week
can't
1, they're-
capitalize on those 2 games, I mean, they ain't going to capitalize on the rest of them or into the playoffs.
Well, because here's how it'll go. Tampa will go up big early, and then Dak Prescott will throw for 320 yards of garbage yards, and they'll lose by a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay? And they're going to be like, oh, what a great game. And it won't be. It won't be. They'll lose. They'll lose, and they'll lose ugly. They'll lose ugly. Like I said, Prescott will throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and still lose by a field goal.
Yeah.
And that's what'll wind up happening against Cincinnati the next week. They're not going to get blown out by anybody,
50.
but they will just not win.
55.
And it's going to be ugly. And they can make all the excuses they want. They need a fucking real coach there. They haven't had a real coach since Jimmy Johnson left there to make Extends commercials about his penis. I mean, they haven't won anything since he's left. They won 3 fucking Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson. By the way, he won a national championship too at the U.
Miami?
Yep.
Okay.
Jimmy Johnson, baby.
Wow.
You know who he had? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed.
We found a way to crown 3 scumbags, talk about penis pills, and Trent Dilfer all in one episode. That's
I don't think anybody's ever done that.
No, that's fucking that's
a
top.
first.
It's unprecedented.
Yeah. And David Blow. David Blow even got
David Blau.
talked about here. Yeah.
Blau.
Okay.
She's a good guy. He just can't.
Who, David Blau?
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah,
guy.
I feel sorry for him. You
he's
don't want to
just-
know why? His girlfriend, she's like the ultimate athlete, and
Yeah.
she's a better athlete than he is.
Who's his girlfriend?
And he admits it.
She was in the
She's some
Olympics?
track star.
Tracks.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
feel
It's on
bad for him. She
HBO.
can outrun him. She's faster than he is. She's probably
Oh, there's a new
throw
Hard
the ball
Knocks
better
tonight.
too.
There is.
Huh?
There's a new Hard Knocks tonight.
Correct.
I did not watch the second episode yet, so don't spoil anything for me.
Well, you didn't have
You haven't
TV
even
to
watched the
watch
first
it.
one?
I didn't have a TV. No, I watched the first one.
Okay.
I haven't watched the second one.
The second one's pretty good. It's a lot about Blau and
Yeah.
stuff in it.
They're gonna start going.
They
watch
actually
that.
made an episode about David fucking Blau.
well, what's
They go like behind the scenes. It's like about because like she placed, was it 5th or 6th or something in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Right. So then there was that video online of him watching and missing the.
It's her trying to go through her process of her career, as well as him going through the process of his.
Who gives a fuck?
Well, you know what?
Well, they're
We're
gonna
here for football.
Well,
So I heard that they're gonna start going behind the scenes like that with a lot more people.
with all these players.
with all
gonna
these
be
players.
going
okay,
behind
well
the-
that's cool then.
Well, because
Yeah.
this is what Hard Knocks does. They'll pick out a few guys that they know that they're on the bubble, and they'll follow them. And when they get their ass ripped out of them, come next week, when they're not part of the fucking roster, you know why?
Right.
Hey, Rodrigo stepping up big time.
That's like Bruce's guy of the year.
Listen,
Just
I
Rodgers.
already-
Hey, I called it. Well, I called it from the draft. Nobody else
Malcolm
did.
Radford.
Did I not? When I went over the Lions draft
you
picks,
did.
I
Yes,
said I liked him out of everybody, and now look, he's stepping up
You
huge.
just got fucking lucky.
listen. To
No, I didn't get
Listen to
lucky.
me.
I actually watched film on the guy
Okay.
and actually
Anyway.
made my assessment of him.
Like I said, that tells you what disarray they're in. If a rookie is your best fucking linebacker on
True,
this team,
but
A
That's
late
how-
hey,
round.
it's
bad
good
they
for
are.
well.
A late
that's
round
what they're
rookie.
saying. That's what he was saying in Hard Knocks. He's like, I can't believe I'm saying this about a rookie right now. Like
you're
you
talking
guys
about
need
the linebacker coach,
Yeah,
Shepard.
yeah. He's
Well,
like, I
guess
can't
what?
believe.
I don't remember him.
He said he's trying everything in his he's trying everything to not make him start.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He
so
doesn't
these
want it.
vets need to step up.
You don't think he realizes it? He's like, well, guess what? The most experienced guy we have is high school Anzalone. Okay? I don't know how many fucking times we need to go through this. But guess what?
Much.
It's not cutting it. The Lions defense is going to be their Achilles heel this year. You want to know why? They have no beef up front to stop the run. They will get their asses run down every week. Dalvin Cook will go for 175 yards against them twice this year.
You may or may not be right. Who
I
knows?
just told
we'll see.
you.
We'll see.
That's what's going to happen.
We'll see.
And so will Aaron
think it's a
Jones.
different-
Aaron Jones
different culture.
will have career days. These two assholes are going to have career days running down the Lions' throat this year
Well, we'll see.
because they
Season's
did not
right here.
address what they should have addressed. Okay?
I don't agree and I don't disagree at the same
Yeah.
time.
Because instead of taking guys with your 3 and 4th picks, when you had a viable option there who dropped, and you decided not to use a draft pick on a guy like Nakobe Dean, I'm sorry, I still don't understand it. Just because the guy didn't want to have surgery, and you watch and see. Watch and see how it plays.
Nobody's doubting it. I
No.
agree with you. I think Nakobe Dean's gonna be fantastic. But at the end of the day,
When you could have picked him up at the fucking just the round before.
yes. But at the end of the day, you're spending the draft pick on a guy, and you don't know if he's gonna be healthy or not. That's it in a nutshell.
Oh, he looks pretty fucking healthy.
He
to
looks
me.
pretty fucking healthy now. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's making plays. He's fucking making plays. He should be making plays here, not in Philadelphia. What the fuck?
Do you remember Manti Te'o?
Yes, I do.
Did you
I remember
watch
him
that?
and his sorry
I
ass.
have not watched.
You know
it
that
either.
motherfucker made up a story about his
See,
girlfriend?
that's why. That's
why I'm bringing
What?
this up. A new Netflix documentary was just released.
When?
Was it yesterday or the day before? Over the weekend.
yeah, it was
we'll
over
say.
the weekend.
Really?
Of him going through the story of how he got catfished into thinking he had this girlfriend in this immensely elaborate plan this dude from his high school had to trick him into thinking he was this girl in Hawaii and she had died.
Wow.
And all of that. So I'm going to try and watch it and come back next week with a review.
No, well, I remember when the story had come out, and they interviewed him. I want to say before the national championship,
It was.
and he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, none of it was true. They found out like a day or two after the national championship game that it was all bullshit.
Right. Yeah. And the
He
media
went from
filleted
100
him.
to 0 real
Right.
quick.
The media filleted him for it.
Yeah.
And then
I never lost.
now it comes out, and supposedly this documentary is pretty groundbreaking into how deep this person went to catfish him. And this dude actually
wow.
thought his girlfriend was dead, and she never even existed. So we're gonna watch that and come back with a little bit of it.
I actually feel sorry for him because I know he did go to the pros.
Yeah,
He played for a couple of years. He was never a standout,
Yeah.
which he
You know
never
what?
really
No, he was
was.
a captain on the Chargers for a year.
Didn't he drop in the draft heavy too?
I
Because of that
don't think
shit?
it was about him dropping in the draft.
I think his draft stock like pummeled when that shit came.
Oh, it might have.
Yeah.
It might have when it all came out. But I don't know whatever happened to him. He was
I think I
around
read
for a
something
while.
like that or
He had,
something.
what, maybe 3-4 years in the league?
Well, I remember him. He got drafted by the Chargers, and I don't. He was in the second round,
Okay.
which you had first round talent at the time.
Well, listen, he was a first-round guy because if you remember, that team's defense had
He came back. Remember?
who's the guy, the defensive the defensive end for Knicks? Knicks, the guy who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers all those years. He was on that team. There was a bunch of guys that went to the NFL on that team. On that Notre Dame squad that he played with.
Hold on, I'm taking a peek.
I think he played with the Saints for a few too. Te'o.
So he was drafted in the second round, played for by the Chargers, was named a captain, got injured. He missed 4 games midseason due to an ankle injury in 2015, tore his Achilles in 2016, signed a 2-year contract with the Saints in 2017. Got hurt, did not play all of 2019, was signed to the Bears practice squad, and that was the end of it. So injuries ruined him,
Right.
you know,
Well, that wasn't made
to
up.
finish him off, but he came back. He was first-round talent and then came back to Notre Dame for some reason and didn't have as good of a year and dropped. That's why he originally dropped.
Yeah.
And then all the girlfriend shit came out and really buried him. But either way, I'm excited to watch that. I'm going to catch up on Hard Knocks tonight. And a couple other things I want to talk about. Fantasy is right around the corner. Literally, if you're not prepping for your draft yet, you're kind of already in the toilet. So you need to get on that. But we are going to come to you guys with a fantasy episode every week, right? We're going to save our normal episodes on YouTube and on Spotify for our normal show, previewing the games coming up, breaking down the games that happened, talking about news, things that are going on. But we are going to have a nice, whole, focused fantasy episode to really break it all down, because throwing fantasy tidbits in here and there is good, but we like to think we have a lot of fantasy knowledge. Probably not, but we're going to give it to you anyways.
If you listen to me about fantasy, you're probably going to be in trouble. But I can get you a sleeper here and there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
normally
agree.
take the player that nobody wants, and
If
they
they
wind
listen
up
to you
doing
from the
pretty well.
beginning of the season to mid-season, they're fine. But from mid-season to the end of the
He's like the
season.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? I'm Mike McCarthy?
You're like Mike McCarthy. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm inept like Mike McCarthy?
Now, if you are interested in playing fantasy, we are doing the Tipped Balls Fantasy League, where we want to play with some of you guys. We have a few people already in. If you're watching this and you are interested in playing with us, reach out to us on Instagram. We will get you all the information and get you signed up into the league. It's not going to be that intense. We're just going to, have some fun with it. Other than that, fantasy episode later on. And we're coming at you twice a week through the whole season with our regular episodes. So really, you get us 3 times a week, which is awesome. Anything else to add?
Nope. Shout out to my man Mullins.
Shout out to Mullins, our social media manager. He is the man with the plan here.
He's the man with the plan who keeps Tugger nuts in check.
All right.
Somebody has to.
Bruce is wild. He needs Mullins has to keep the leash on him.
Yeah, keep a leash on him.
That is not true at all. Oh,
It
my
is.
God.
Gets out of
finish your
control.
beer?
Can't keep his
Thank
mind
God.
right.
You finished the whole beer? For sure. You buzzed?
No.
All right. Here's the spiel. If
Okay,
you haven't yet,
15
follow us.
more of these, yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at Tipballs, Twitter at Tipballs. Nobody follows us on Twitter. I do some great retweeting on there. Go check it out.
Yeah, but
Twitter.
Twitter's just like,
I use Twitter more than I use anything else.
so do I.
Yeah.
But
Twitter and Instagram at Tipballs, TikTok at Tipballs Podcast. Again, if you're interested in playing fantasy with us, we would love to have you. Shoot us a DM on Instagram. Email us at tipballs@gmail.com. One of us will see it, and we'll get you guys the information needed to sign up. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, check us out on there. Follow us. You'll get notifications every time we come out with an episode.
Or at least
Your phone
just go
will
on
ding at 1
there.
o'clock in the morning.
At least just go on there and subscribe and then go back to YouTube and
Yeah,
continue watching.
just go
YouTube.
rate it. Give us a 5-star rating. If
Yeah.
you're listening to us, we can't
Yeah,
be that
Jesus
bad.
Christ, we could use a break here.
But get ready. The season is 2 weeks away. We're coming to you
Can't
guys
wait.
full
2
strength.
weeks away. Can't wait.
That's it.
God bless Manti Te'o.
God bless Manti Te'o.
There we go.
God bless. What else? I mean, if you had to tell Manti Te'o something, what would you tell him?
What would I tell him? The next time you make a story up about a girl, kill her.
Okay. Well, we're gonna.
Don't let her get deceased or kill herself. You want to do the killing. So that way, at least they can make a nice Netflix documentary about you being a killer.
She didn't even exist.
He should have killed her in his mind.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
I'm kidding. Take that shit off of there.
You'll hear from us next week.